If y'all don't know who this decrepit creep hip keeping, I'm sorry, excuse me, looking old man is, this is none other than Jerry Sandusky, and his old perverted ass is back in the news. Now I can't remember what subscriber has sent me this article, but if you're out there listening, shout out to you. So apparently Jerry Sandusky and his attorneys has sought an appeal to overturn the current sentence that he has. Now, as you all know, back in 2012, he was giving a pretty lengthy and well-deserved sentence after he was found guilty on counts of child molestation and a plethora of other charges. But upon him and his attorney seeking a overturning his conviction, a judge decided to turn it down. Not only turn down the retrial, but also now he's set to be resentenced, and now it means he's going to have potentially more years tacked on to what he already has on some additional charges that I think didn't get factored in the original trial. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is read this article from USA Today and see what else we find out. It says Jerry Sandusky lost a bid for a new trial Tuesday, but a Pennsylvania appeals court ordered him to be resentenced for a 45-count child molestation conviction. The former Penn State assistant football coach was sentenced in 2012 to 30 to 60 years, but a Superior Court panel said that included the improper application of mandatory minimums. In a 119-page opinion, the appeals panel struck down argument after argument that lawyers for Sandusky, age 75, had made seeking a new trial. His defense lawyer, Al Lindsay, said he was disappointed but will ask the state highest court to reconsider. Lindsay said he was unsure if the new sentencing is likely to result in a substantially different sentence. I suppose it depends on the judge and what happens before the sentencing and after the sentencing. The U.S. Supreme Court has indicated that jurors must consider anything that could result in a longer sentence, and such elements must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. A judge, not jury, sentenced Sandusky. The state attorney general office said it was pleased that Sandusky's conviction remained intact. The Superior Court has agreed with our office that it has proper for the court below to reject Sandusky's claims. We look forward to appearing for the new sentencing proceedings and arguing to the court as to why this convicted sex offender should remain behind bars for a long time. Victims testified at his trial that Sandusky subjected him to a range of abuse from grooming to violent sexual acts. Sandusky has consistently maintained his innocence. Lindsay said Sandusky asked him to release a statement vowing to not rest until the public understands what has happened and decision makers acknowledge the injustice. It's time to unmask those who have been deceitful and dishonest. It's time to expose those who have hidden personal agendas. Now is the time to present the real scandal and all the damage that has been done. What has happened is a travesty. What will be our legacy? Sandusky's arrest led the university to push out Hall of Fame head coach Joe Paterno and then university president Graham Spanier. Well, that's what he gets. And the thing is, he went in there for one thing and ended up coming out being rejected for that one thing and ended up getting something else in return that he and his lawyers were not expecting. I hope they throw those other convictions to him and tack on more years. I mean, the guy was already in jail for the rest of his life anyway. I mean, he's been in there since 2012 and he's now 75 and he's already on a 30 to 60 year bid. I mean, by the time if he does the whole 30 years, he'll be what, over 100 if he's fortunate to live that long by the time he gets out. And that's just at the 30-year minimum. If they tack this on and they manage to make him stick, he's gonna die in there. And you know what, I can't say that I feel bad for him. I remember when all of this stuff went down, and that was two things actually got revealed to me that around that time. One, that some of these or most of these old white men are some of the biggest pervs on the planet. And two, white people really don't care much about rape victims as much as they claim. Because if my memory serves me correctly, a lot of them were so upset that he got, well, not so much that he got caught and thrown in jail, but they got mad because Joe Paterno, who was a staple in that community, ended up getting removed as the head coach. Of course, you know, sooner well, a little bit later on, he did eventually pass. And a lot of people attributed his death to the stress that he got put through with this whole thing. What you got to understand is no way you can tell me that Joe Paterno did not know this was going on, because Jerry Sandusky literally worked side by side with Joe Paterno. So he had to have known something, and the people of that town got so upset at that. So in a way, when you think about it, many of them were condoning what was happening indirectly. That was one wild revelation that occurred with that whole debacle right there. But y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.